How we all get along today? Well, we have returned from our trip out west with all kinds of goodies to cut. Got one already chucked up, got a nice piece of agate chucked up that we had picked up on a previous trip back in the spring. Nice piece of agate out of Utah. Got some beautiful color to it, and I think it's going to continue to show good colors and patterns as we go through it. But one thing I picked up this time that I am truly interested to cut, I have never found a piece of obsidian around here. Pretty rare around here, common out west, but I picked me up a piece of snowflake obsidian. I do not know how that thing's going to turn out, whether it'll cut and just shatter into a bunch of little pieces, or whether I'll actually be able to cut it. But I'm going to let you all follow along on my adventure and see what happens. So I'll get that chucked up in the other saw, and we'll cut them both at the same time, get us some slabs going, and I'll show you how she turns out. Catch you later. Well, we're getting ready to fire her up. I don't know what's more fun, finding the rocks or cutting the rocks and seeing how they turn out. We chased obsidian around there in New Mexico and went to several different sites that were on websites and a book, and really wasn't having much luck. I don't know whether we just was off on our GPS or what, but we're driving down the road there in New Mexico up in the mountains, and I look up and I see a chunk of obsidian sticking out of a cut there on the highway the size of a basketball. So we locked up the brakes and spun around and pulled off, and lo and behold, when they had made that cut, they had exposed a whole bunch of obsidian. And they had, to our luck, that they had shoved a bunch down the downhill slope, so it was safe to get. That uphill slope looked a little sketchy, but we were able to find quite a bit. I've got some that they'd call snowflake, and I've got some that's just plain old obsidian, but either way, I came away a winner, which isn't that often. That does not occur. I'm not sure how this is going to cut, but we'll get her buttoned up in here. Forgive me for my homemade jig here. If you want to go back and look, I built this saw from scratch. It's built out of a table saw. It's got variable speed feed. It's got automatic shut off. Got all the creature comforts that a person would want for cutting rocks. And I don't have $200 in this saw, so it'll come out pretty good. I'm sure it ain't as fancy as others, but it works for me. Alright, we got that all chucked up in there. We're going to slide it forward. Get her right next to the blade. The blade still turns good. Going to lock my split lock pliers onto the drive. Got my other set of locking pliers to lock the side feed. Little snap, man, let's tilt that up a little bit. That just keeps her from vibrating around, making crooked cuts and what have you. Alright, we're ready to start this adventure. Well, just like in life, sometimes you're disappointed. The obsidian didn't turn out hardly at all full of fractures, which I was kind of worried about that looking from the outside. Not going to be a whole lot I'll be able to do with it, but cool in itself. I've got some better specimens I'll try later, and I may try cutting a little deeper in that. Might be able to find something in there, but that looks pretty well fractured up. The agate, on the other hand, that turned out really cool. Look how clear that is. You can see my fingers through it. Real happy with it. Got some nice slices. Pretty thin. Be able to do something with them. Whether I just leave them as slabs or cut them up and make something out of them. Wish that color went all the way through. Wouldn't that be cool? I may try to do something with the rind. That's got some potential to her. And then my old friend chert. I went ahead and sliced another slice off a chert ball. That stuff never disappoints. It's always cool on the inside. You can get through it without it shattering on you. Well, if you find any of this interesting, slip over to old Facebook and check out Lincoln Creek Creations. Some of our wares are on there for sale. See anything you like, contact the wife. Catch y'all later. Have a good one.